rest of our session. But I'm Maria Almendares. I am one of the immigration coordinators here at the University of Wyoming in the International Students and Scholars. I know that I've already emailed with a couple of you, so it's really great to talk to you live on our session this morning. I'm going to let our other UW staff members here introduce themselves, and then we'll talk about the questions that you pre-submitted. We'll go through those really quickly, and then we'll just open this up for anyone else who wants to ask questions or have some discussion. We'd love to hear from you. So Jill, do you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Jill Johnson, and I'm the director of the International Students and Scholars Office, and I'm really excited that you guys are here today, and hopeful that we'll get to meet you guys very soon in person. So, Daing?
Thanks, Jill. Hi, everyone. My name is Daing Nasir. I work with Jill and Maria at the Office of International Students and Scholars. I'm an assistant director, and I work primarily in recruitment. So that means I work with all types of students that come in from the undergrad level all the way to the grad level, and also with our international partners as well. So I'm excited that you guys are coming. I know it's a challenging time right now with everything that's going on, but we're still excited. So that's why we did these sessions, so that we can meet you guys online. So welcome, everyone.
And hi all, I'm Jim Ahern. I'm the Associate Vice Provost for Graduate Education, so I oversee all the graduate programs at UW, and I'm also a professor in anthropology. And I just want to repeat what others have said. We're thrilled that you joined us this morning, and we are especially thrilled that you have decided to choose UW to become part of our family. So we're really thrilled by that, and we look forward to having a discussion today.
Great, awesome. And we should also say, of course, you're muted, so if you want to ask a question, just unmute so that we can hear you. If you want to turn your cameras on, you're welcome to do that, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So I'll just go through quickly the questions that we had pre-submitted that you all sent in via the survey, and I'm not sure who these came from, so we'll just go through all of them. The first question was, is there some kind of support for international students who are struggling with financing visa appointments and flight tickets? Generally, there's not special funding for that. As Dr. Ahern pointed out earlier, there are some departments who sometimes can help with travel expenses. So if you're a graduate student, you may be able to contact your department and ask if that's available. It's likely that it's not, but you could always ask your department and see if they have funding or assistance. Do I have to do the items on the checklist if I'm going to study online for the semester? That's a great question. I looked through the checklist this morning. There are some things on that checklist that are for undergraduate students more so than graduate. So confirming your enrollment and taking the math placement exam, graduate students do not have to do those two things, so don't worry about those. If you're not coming to campus, you also do not have to sign up with housing, because you won't be doing housing on our campus for the fall. You will want to contact housing if you're going to come for the spring semester, so that they can get a room or an apartment reserved for you on campus for spring. And then also, you'll not have to check in with the student health services. That's something else that you'll do when you join us on campus, and we'll have a process for you then to do that. The health insurance, our office is going to work with the health services. Generally, as an international student, when you register for classes, you're automatically enrolled in the health insurance. But since you won't be here, we won't have you do that. So our office will work with the health insurance office to facilitate that waiver, so you won't have to worry about that. So really, for the grad students, which I think all of you on this call should be, you really do not have to worry about those checklist items. Someone asked if they should keep the updated I-20 as well as the initial I-20 that was sent or emailed for the visa interview. You should keep all of your I-20s for the whole time that you're with UW. Keep all of those with you. You should carry them all with you to your visa appointments. You should also carry all of them with you when you travel. So just put all of those together with copies of admission letters, with copies of all your official documentation. put those all together and keep them with you for those purposes, and you'll keep those the whole time that you're here with us. And then we had kind of a longer question. Oh no, let's go to this one. Will the I-20 be enough for the visa interview, or will I need my admission letter as well? So when you go to your visa interview, you first want to look at the consulate website. They will have a list of all the documents and things that you need to bring. Most consulates are generally the same, but some might ask for specific documents. Generally, you'll need to have all of the I-20s that we have sent or emailed to you. You will need to have an admission letter. You might want to print the admission letter from your graduate department that you received from them, as well as the full admission letter. When you were admitted, you got an email from the admissions office. And in that email, that's what we consider your electronic admission letter. So if we did not mail you a paper I-20, you'll need to print that email from admissions. If you don't have that email, if you somehow didn't receive it or you've deleted that, you could email admissions@uwyo.edu or email us here in the ISS office, and we'll help you get a new copy of that electronic letter. If we've mailed you your I-20, in the first folder was a printed letter, a printed admission letter. You should also have proof of funding. So if that is coming from your department as an assistantship or fellowship, you would carry the letter from your department that says you have funding. And then they also may ask you for proof of ties to your home country. So that would be just information to know who is still living at home, what are your reasons to return home when you finish your study, and they may ask you questions like that. And then there may be other questions or other information that your specific consulate asks of you. So that's why it's important to look at their website. And then finally, we had a student ask about choosing your courses, if you would be enrolled automatically or how you should do that. So for grad students, contact your department. Your graduate coordinators, your department, your faculty advisors, those folks will help you decide what courses you should be in for the semester. Some departments will help enroll students in courses, but generally they'll give you a PERC number, which is a kind of a code registration number, and you'll enroll through your WyoWeb. You're going to be getting a link here in the next couple of days to walk you through our online orientation. And the second module of the online orientation has a step-by-step guide that shows you on the screen how to log in and how to enroll for your classes. It's very helpful. So if your department has you enroll for your classes online by yourself, that orientation will walk you through specifically how to do that online. And then again, you can always contact your department for more help with the actual enrollment, or if something happens and a course isn't available or you can't access it online, the department can then help you with that. So that is all of our pre-submitted questions. Do Daing or Jim or Jill, do you have anything to add? No, we're all quiet this morning. Good. Oliver, you have a question. It's nice to see your face.
Thank you for this opportunity to ask the questions. Hi, my name is Oliver. I'm from Germany. I had my visa interview last Tuesday and my visa got approved.
Great.
So I'm about to plan and organize my trip to the States. And one thing that is missing right now is a flight. And I haven't booked the flight yet because I'm not quite sure when the visa is going to be delivered to my home address. And another thing is the I-20 form. I've read online already that the new version, which describes the hybrid model, can be printed out and should suffice to enter the States. I just wanted to have that confirmed.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm going to log in here so I can look at some information. Jesse Hughes, who's our other immigration coordinator, you've maybe been communicating with him as well. He generally monitors our new student documents coming in. So he was working on these over the past week or so to issue all of our new students that updated I-20. and we will send you that via email. And then you're going to get 2 additional documents coming from Germany. You're going to get a document to carry with you that describes the approval to carry the printed I-20 from the email. So we've printed a form letter. Also, since you're coming from Germany, you're going to receive a letter that talks about this new exemption from the travel restriction. And so we've printed up a form letter as well. And that's just to help. So there's a little bit of confusion among our agencies of who knows that this is official and who doesn't. So
Right.
in case you get to the airport and they're not aware, you can show them that letter, or the border entry point when you get to the US, you can show them that letter. So you'll be getting all of those documents from us via email. So I was actually just going to look and see, just to make sure that yours was in the group that's gotten done. I think that there are still a few that they are working on sending out. It looks like there are still a few in our scanning here. So it may be later today that you will receive that. But I will definitely jot down your name as well and make sure that we get that out to you. We'll be following up with some emails too to make sure everybody received those.
Okay, thank you very much, because my preliminary travel plans so far are that I'm flying in the 3rd of August.
That seems to be a popular travel day with our students.
Yeah. Second thing I had in mind is I received an email saying that I am supposed or not supposed, depending on what my department says, to participate or take this OPIC English test. So I understood that it's not mandatory, correct?
So it's mandatory if you will be employed as a graduate teaching assistant. So if you're going to be teaching for the fall, you definitely have to have that. If you'll be teaching, being a GTA or an instructor at any point while you're at UW, you will have to have an OPI score.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, so that's it from my side. Thank you.
What will you be studying, Oliver?
The Department of Molecular Biology. I have this contract with Marco Melski, professor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great faculty member, great advisor. You're gonna have a great time.
Awesome, thank you.
Can we take a quick SAG Z-tout before you ask your questions? Also great to see your face. We've emailed a lot, I feel like. Abby Lozano has joined us on the Zoom, and she's also one of our staff members here at ISS. So Abby, do you have a second you want to introduce yourself on the call?
Sure. So I've communicated with a lot of incoming students that are coming in. What I do is programming for the office, and then I kind of run the front office. So sending out I-20s or communicating with students. This semester will be a little bit different. I don't know what's in store for us yet. Right now I'm working on how you're going to be checking in with us once you arrive. So I'm really excited once we can meet you face to face to do that. I think I recognize most of the names here, so I'm really happy that you guys are joining us today.
All right, Z-tout, did you have questions?
Yeah, I'm Z-tout. So I'd like to ask the start date and deadline of courses registration.
Okay, so our official class start date is August 24th. You're planning to come to the US to study in person?
Yeah, I'm already in US.
Oh, you're here. You're transferring to us, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, so August 24th is our class start date. You should definitely be in contact with your department to go ahead and get registered for your classes now. We don't want you to arrive here and then have classes be full. So, and have to work around that. So the sooner you can register, the better. And then work with your department. You should definitely be here before classes start, if at all possible. You'll have to check in around campus. You'll have to check in with our student health department. You'll get your student ID. There are a couple other places that you'll check in, and that's what Abby is working on, that process. So you definitely want to try to be here the week before, if possible, to check in. If there's something that is going to delay you for sure, make sure you work with your department. It would be up to your faculty if they can excuse you from classes if you're going to arrive late. But we hope that you can arrive early enough so you can do all those check-ins on our campus.
Okay. I also want to ask about the housing. So can I still reduce for campus housing this semester?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you this should be on your checklist, I believe, for your admissions checklist. And if you can't, if you don't see that, if you go on our site, the International Students and Scholars website, down toward the bottom of the page, there's a box that says preparing for arrival. And if you click on that, it walks you through kind of your next steps before you arrive. So it talks about applying for your visa. There's a little informational video there from Education USA about visas. And then number 2 is your WyoWeb checklist. And there's a link there to apply for housing. You definitely should do that soon. Our residence halls, we're doing mostly single occupancy. So we have a little bit fewer residence halls just for safety, for health and safety for our students this fall. And you have to have a contract with them before you can arrive and check in. And then also that will direct you to the apartments if you wanted to try to live in a university apartment on campus. You'll find all of that on the housing website, but they do have contracts for you to sign up. And I would recommend that you do those as soon as possible as well, because they probably will run out of space, I would imagine.
Yeah, because like most resident housing for undergraduate, I just want to, if graduate students qualify for those.
Yeah, graduates and undergraduates can both live in our residence halls and in our apartments. We don't have separate housing for graduates or undergraduates. I think more likely undergraduates live in the residence halls. We have a lot of graduate students that live in our apartments, but both live in both places. It's not separated out.
Okay, great. I think I'm down. Thank you.
Great. It's nice to meet you in person. Well, sort of in person. Zita, where are you?
I'm in Pittsburgh now.
Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah, I just resigned from my company. Yeah.
Anybody else who else has questions or comments or anything to discuss?
Yeah, hi, hello. I do have a question. Right, let's see if I can, yeah, if you can get video. Yeah, hello everyone, sorry, my name is Angela. Yeah, I have a question. I'm going to be studying the first semester online, but for the second semester, well, hopefully try to get to the USA. And for that, for the entry to the country, would I need a third I-20 form issued, or would be the electronic updated form enough for me?
Yeah, we will have to, we'll do a deferral and we'll move your I-20 start date to January.
Okay.
Yeah, so those two processes, that will be separated from your UW process at that point. And so we'll be working with those students that are going to study online after we get through kind of the craziness of getting our students to campus. We'll start working with the students we know are going to study from home. We would like to get a new paper I-20 actually mailed to you before January if possible. If not, we assume we'll still be able to do the emailed I-20. We're not certain about that yet. We kind of have to wait for immigration to tell us if that's okay. But you'll be hearing from either me or Jesse or Abby. You'll be hearing from us to coordinate that. And we'll either do it through shipping or we'll get it to you by email.
Okay, good. And the second question is, well, I've got graduate assistantship for myself, and since I'm going to be taking my classes online, so how would these two work together? Like, will my department tell me, or should I Do you know anything about it? Because it
So-
seems a bit difficult here well, I don't know if it's difficult or not, but I assume it might be difficult to be a graduate assistant, to use graduate assistantships while studying online. Yeah.
So what can I ask? What department you're in?
That's economics.
Ah, super.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have there are quite a few people like you in your situation, and it's going to depend upon the sort of assistantship that the department has available for you, and whether or not that's work that can be done remotely. And it also will depend upon probably your visa status as well in terms of how you could be employed. We do have some options that we've worked hard to try to create that may mean that you could be employed even though you would be located overseas and you would not have your SEVIS status yet. There's no guarantee of that. The big thing that we were able to arrange, though, is that for graduate students who were offered funding, graduate assistantship funding for the fall, but cannot be employed for some reason as graduate assistants, we do have a fellowship program that departments can take advantage of to fund all of students' tuition and fees. So we are very invested in you getting your start at UW, and we don't want to have any barriers to you being able to do that. So hopefully the minimum is going to be that we'll be able to cover your tuition and fees, and then check with your department about if there's going to be an assistantship or other sort of employment possible.
Okay, great. Thanks. That's all for me.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
Other questions? Who has questions?
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
I am Mahadi. Thank you. I am Hadia from Bangladesh, an incoming PhD student. The embassy in our country is still closed, and I could not be able to manage a visa. So I contacted the department, and they asked me to defer for fall 2021. But as it is my second time deferral, the admission office asked me to reapply. So my question is, will my SEVIS ID will be the same in my second I-20, as I have already paid my SEVIS fee and the visa fee using the former SEVIS ID, former SEVIS ID?
Yeah, Madia, your SEVIS ID will remain the same. This is one place where our office being separate, the immigration piece is a little separate, and that's a good benefit. I'm taking down some notes, so I'm going to make a note that we'll see a second application coming through for you, and when that happens, we will just go into your current SEVIS record, and we'll just defer that forward to the spring semester. And so everything will stay the same. What's that?
It's for fall. It's for fall 2021.
Fall 2021. Okay. Yeah, I'll make a note of that, and we'll just defer your SEVIS record to the fall 2021. So yeah, you will not have to pay that SEVIS fee again. Your record will all stay intact, and you'll have the same SEVIS number.
Okay. And I have another question. My TOEFL score will be expired this year. So does it have any impact on my visa interview next year? I don't know whether you are concerned about that.
I don't know that one. Jill or Daing, do you know? It won't impact the admission. We wouldn't ask for a new TOEFL.
No.
I can't imagine that it would.
The department.
So Madia, what I think one good thing that we could do is coordinate to send you a letter that says we've seen a TOEFL score when it was valid and communicated with you regularly, just some sort of documentation that you could take with you when you go to your visa interview that says, as an institution, we've decided that, you know, this is okay. But TOEFLs are waived, I mean, less now than they used to be, but they're waived with some regularity. So for different reasons. So, and it's not been anything that's been communicated back to us that has an impact on success of getting a visa. So I don't think that you'll have any problems with that moving forward on immigration.
Okay, thank you. It will be very helpful for me if you can offer me a letter.
Yeah, we
Thank
have
you.
it, right? The university has it, right? You've already sent it to us.
Sorry?
You've already sent it to us, right? We have it.
No, I'm not in use. I'm okay.
But we
Sorry,
already
I
have the
couldn't get it.
TOEFL.
Actually, there is some.
Yeah.
Yes, I have already had the TOEFL.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Madia, what's your academic program? What are you going to be studying?
Okay, my department is molecular and cellular life science.
Okay, awesome, wonderful.
And Madia, I see that you've already submitted a new application, correct?
Yes, I've already submitted new one.
Perfect. And I see that in the system. So that looks like, it looks like your department has actually already put their information in here and confirmed their continued support. So we'll be able to get everything updated for you and start getting you new I-20s and all that pretty soon.
Okay, thank you.
What other questions do you all have, or just comments? They can be Laramie questions or university questions, and it doesn't always just have to be about your program or the technical things. If there's any other questions you want to ask.
Yeah, sorry, but it's related to the gym facilities at the university, because I know well, probably by winter everything is going to be more sort of online or kind of distanced. And how would that work with the gym facilities and swimming pools if you have those for students, if they will be open at all? Yeah, sorry.
Who wants that one?
I'll jump in. I don't know that we have an answer yet about that, Angela. There's so much unknown right now. It's
Yeah,
been
I understand.
closed since March. We have a fantastic gym facility that will be wonderful for you once we're able to use it. But right now it's been closed. I'm sure that they're trying to work on a plan for access of some sort. Other gyms in town have been able to negotiate that, but it's really just going to depend on how things go probably in the first few weeks of the semester is what my guess is going to be. But we'll,
Right.
I'm taking notes today, and as soon as I learn something, I will email you and let you know what I find out. How does that sound?
Okay, well, let's go. Well, but I mean, like, if you've got, I'm sure you've got like a workload. It's fine if you like, you don't have to email me personally for that.
Well, but it's something that you're interested in. We want to make sure that you have access to the information.
But well, if you have time, then yes. But then, of course, if you're too busy, that's okay. I can.
I understand. I understand. You're probably not the only one with a question, so it's good for me to have the information. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I just checked the website too, Angela. It does say that it's closed until further notice. So
yeah,
it's a bummer. Everyone in town loves that gym that we have on campus. So we're also asking the same question. But we want to know when we can go back to the gym. But of course, safety is first. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And a lot of the questions too that we're discussing today, especially the technical things about registration and travel and visas, a lot of those questions, we're taking those down and we'll add those to the FAQs. I hope you all had a chance to review the document I sent the link to that's on our website. We're trying to keep that updated with the newest information daily about visas and travel, anything that changes, so you all are aware of those things in the documents that you'll need, or any struggles you might face with that. In that document, there's also just a general FAQ at the end with a lot of just general questions. And as students are asking questions, we're adding those because as Jill said, guaranteed, you're not going to be the only one with a question. You're probably asking, and there are a lot of people who have that same question. So you can also continue to go back to that document as you're preparing to join us, and we'll have those updated. There's dates on there. You'll see every day that we update that. We put the date that was updated. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Maria on that. Yesterday, the students that attended our session yesterday really found the FAQs on the website really useful because it's updated daily. And sometimes you won't see that the date is updated daily. It will update by the end of the day. So if you see like a date that's yesterday and all that, it really isn't, and it will refresh itself by the end of the day, Mountain Time. So.
And within the document itself, as I update each section, there's a date at the top of the section that says it was updated. The date that's next to the document on our website is not always updated because I have to have, Jesse does that for me. And so I have to communicate to him that I've updated it, and then he updates actually the date it says on the website. But when you get into that document, you'll see the dates that it was updated. And I'm going to copy that link. Let me do this to everybody. I'm putting that link in the chat right now. So that is the link that goes directly to that document on our UW ISS website, and that's the new incoming. It says July 21st, but I did update that. It was either the 22nd or 23rd even that I updated that. So that's got updated info. I have a question that was sent privately here in the chat. So this is from a student who is on an assistantship and is in a country where the embassy is still closed but may resume soon, as I think many students are hearing. Advisor has mentioned that the student could arrive late in the fall and start research credits and take regular classes in the spring, wanting to know what is the last date of arrival in this case. That's another one of those questions that I don't think we have a definite answer to yet. Generally in the past, graduate departments have done this for students who have had to arrive late for various reasons. Normally, we would ask that those students be here no later than midterm, which is October 15th this year. But because of COVID and visa and travel, I don't know that we've really landed on that as a definite date. I would say continue to be in touch with your department. They would ultimately be the ones who will work with you and communicate that to you, and then help you get registered for those credits when you arrive. You'll still need to work with our office as well, and we'll be in touch with you as well, because we may need to issue you an updated I-20. If you're coming in that late, chances are we'll need to get you a new document that has a later start date, so that the visa officer knows that you can still come that late, and also so that our border officers know that you could come in that late and still be an enrolled student with us. So just communication is going to be very important with us and with your department.
I would only add that it's been our experience this year that departments have been really, really flexible and really are trying to work with students to make whatever possible that the student, needs to have made possible. So regular communication with your department, and then keeping us updated as to those discussions will be really important. But I would say that our departments have been really wonderful working with our students and trying to be very flexible.
Yeah, and I would just add the faculty have been incredibly supportive and concerned about making sure that all of you are going to be able to join us. And so to demonstrate that, there was this, the administration had modified the CVIS rules recently, and within 2 days, around 300 faculty had signed a letter of protest against that change. So unfortunately, the modification was rescinded, but just to demonstrate how much the faculty care about having you come to campus.
What other questions do you guys have?
Or comments? Anything?
Thanks for that info, Jim. I really appreciate it as well. I look forward to it. So that was great. I didn't know that. So good to know we have great.
Oh yeah, about Pilot Hill.
Yeah, the Pilot Hill
Yeah.
information in the chat.
It's really exciting. I'm
It
thrilled.
really is, yeah.
I don't even live on that side of town, but I think it's just great that we're going to be able to go all the way up to the top from town. It's awesome.
Right. Yeah, I tell Jill and Maria all the time. I get so excited of all the places that we can visit near to town, but this is just getting too near already. So the list is just getting longer and longer for outdoor spaces. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Daing recently joined us in Wyoming. He's new to Wyoming too. He's been here less than a year with us, so he has a lot of the same perspective that many of you will have coming here. Daing, do you want to tell them your background a little bit? That might be helpful
sure.
too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Daing, my name is Daing Nasir. I did my undergrad in the state of Michigan. So I was born in Michigan, but I lived overseas for the most parts of my life. And then I came back for my undergrad, attended Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And then I did my grad school there as well. And then my career kept on taking me south. And then after my last career in Texas, Wyoming happened. So I moved out west and to join Jill and Maria and Jim at the university. So it's been such a welcoming experience. I made a small joke yesterday. I came in on my first day in a business suit, and Jill was like, "We need to get you Wyoming winter stuff," because I came in the peak of winter in February, so it was cold. I mean, Michigan was cold as well, but that was easily 10, 15 years ago. So all my coats are buried underneath, all the way down in the deep end of my boxes. So I had to dig them back out and rename them my Wyoming coats. So, but I can tell this though, and this was also information given by another employee that works here as well. She told me that even though it snows really hard here in Laramie, the cold isn't as frigid as it is in other places in the U.S. So you actually get to enjoy the snow, and I think that's why. And you guys might correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot of outdoor activities, and for the most part, pre-COVID, what we noticed is that there was a lot of outdoor activities coordinated by the university, and the department is called Outdoor Programs. So they have a ton of programs that you can sign up for. With them, so and for a very minimal cost. So yeah, I was excited as well about that. I've worked with various institutions before this, but I've never seen that before. So that's awesome. So, but I mean, it is Wyoming, and we get to play at the outdoors and enjoy what we have at our doorstep. So yeah,
it is really beautiful here, and summer in Laramie is perfection, in my opinion. It's not too hot. It's not too humid. It's really not humid here ever. It's beautiful, and I love it. It's green and wonderful. And having Daing here this summer has been kind of a good reminder. Those of us who have lived here a long time, sometimes we, I think, not really forget, maybe take for granted just a little bit the natural beauty we have, and our sunsets in the summer especially are very beautiful. And every now and then I get a text from Daing that just has a picture of the outside and says, "I can't believe we live here." So he's been a really great reminder to us of where we live. And it's been a really great summer. So there's hiking. If you are on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our ISS office has all of those accounts. You can find us, and we do try to share pictures of the outdoors and things that we get to do here. If you have any interest in being outside, there's hiking, mountain biking, all kinds of activities really within anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour of Laramie. It's beautiful, and it's easy to get outside and enjoy the outdoors. It's really, really pretty here. So,
and I have to put in a plug for winter too.
Yes.
Sometimes we complain about winter, but there's so many great outdoor activities to do in winter. I mean, snowshoeing up in the mountains, or cross-country skiing, downhill skiing. Ice fishing, if you want to ice fish, you can go ice fishing. Lots of good stuff to do.
Yeah, I love winter. I don't think I would ever live somewhere that I didn't have winter and snow. I'm one of those people. I love winter. Not everybody does. The great thing about winter here, like Daing said, it does get cold. Our wind can get cold. But one of the great things about winter here is even when it snows, it doesn't snow usually for really long periods of time, or a lot of times it will snow. But then it stops snowing and the sun comes out. And we have this brilliant blue sky and sunshine, even though there's snow on the ground. So those are some of my favorite days, when it's blue sky and very sunny and snowy. Those are some of my favorite days here. I love them.
It's magical, guys. It really is.
We don't really have, there is a hand raise function on here somewhere. I'm curious how many people have never experienced snow before. Some of my favorite stories from students are when they tell me about their first snow. Because I do think it's magical. And if you've never seen that before, I think it's neat to hear students' first accounts of their first snow.
I think that's why people came up with a term. People don't sometimes, guys. Sometimes you'll hear this a lot in Laramie. They don't call it Laramie; they call it Laradice. So I thought that was very, very cute when I got here.
Well, and I love that we're not like Laramie'ites, we're Laramigos.
Laramigos.
We're all friends. That's my favorite. What other questions do you guys have?
Hi, I'm Zitao again. So I'm now in the classes registration page, and here it says I need an alternate PIN. So I don't know what that is.
Have you worked with your department on choosing courses and?
Yeah, I contact my advisor, but he's just new here. I mean, he don't really know what's going on.
So tell what program are you in again?
I'm civil engineering.
Civil engineering, okay. I can't remember who the grad coordinator is for that department, but you might want to reach out to the department head. His name is Tony Denzer. I'll find his email. I'll find his email and I'll text it to you in a sec. Because if your advisor is new, she probably is not as familiar with the registration system.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
it looks like Salesforce has Tony Denzer listed as his advisor in the system, so he's the one that did the approval.
You'll get that PIN number, you'll get that PIN number from your department to enable you to register.
So I cannot register for classes before I get the PIN, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, and
that should be an easy thing to get. So.
Okay, cool.
Jim, I'm going to send you his advisor's name. I don't know if that's helpful, but it's in here too. I'm not going to give a name away. I'm not going to say a name, but I see that there's somebody on our chat that I think has said at one point they didn't get their admission letter. And so if that is you, I am talking to you. And I've jotted that information down. You would have received an email from admissions, and I actually looked up your information, and you were admitted back, I believe, on July 14th. So you should have gotten an email from the admissions office on July 14th or 15th, and that email contained the electronic admission letter in the body of the email. So go back and see if you can find that email from admissions around July 14th and see if you have that. If you don't have that, you can either email admissions@uwyo.edu or email one of us here in the ISS office, and we can have them send that new, or we can email a new admission letter to you. But best if you can find the email from admissions and print that out, and that's what you'll carry with you for your visa.
And I do have some notes from yesterday's or last night's for us session that I need to work with a few departments on, and that may be one from yesterday as well. So it's 8:51 and the in the morning for us, and the university just opened up about an hour ago. So I will be touching base with a few departments on some stuff from last night. Abby, do you want to talk about orientation? We mentioned it briefly at the start of our meeting, but since you're the in charge for all of the orientation stuff, do you want to mention that today?
Sure. So we are just getting ready to send out our graduate international orientation. So you will be receiving a link to join as a student. What you will do is you should log in or create a login through the system that invites you. And that orientation is going to have a lot of information. Some of it we've covered today. Maria talked about the residence halls, but there's a little bit more information in there. There's offices around campus that discuss the services that they provide to all students. And so that's a great place to, it's a general, collection of really good information that you should read over. There's lots of videos. You will be enrolled in this from now until when you leave the university, so you'll have access to this information, so you don't have to memorize everything. In the next month, we will be adding more. I've invited Jim to participate in this, and his office can add a little bit more information from what they do over there regarding graduate education. But you should be seeing an invitation to that sometime today. And we do ask that you fill that out, or that you go in and you review all that information. That is our mandatory orientation this year, since we won't be able to meet in person. And like I said, there's a lot of information there that's really good. So does anybody have any questions about that?
I do, Abby. Will the email that goes to the students come from WyoLearn, or will it come from you, or what's the address that they should be looking out for?
Oh, Maria, do you remember who sent that email address?
Yeah, let me, I can look at that and see what it is. Yeah, it comes from WyoLearn. So you're going to get an email, and the name looks like WyoLearn, WYOLEARN, WyoLearn. And the email address it will come from is notifications@instructure.com. I'm going to put that down in the chat so that you will see who this will come from. And then watch for this. When you get this email, this is what you'll need to follow to participate in the orientation.
And if you don't receive it, or if it goes maybe to your junk or to your spam, you can always email me, and I will work on getting you a link. We would really like you to get through this information, so it's really important that you check that in the next couple days.
If I can add something, it is a challenging time right now with social distancing and staff rotating their schedules around campus. So as you get into campus and you defer into times like the winter and in the spring semester, and you arrive late and all that, I do encourage you all to watch my cultural adjustment presentation in the orientation. I think that's very helpful, being an international student myself, and I know my colleagues can attest to this with them being internationals going overseas. It is a challenging time when you're coming into a new environment and you're adjusting and you're going to new classes and getting to know new people. So I highly encourage you guys to watch that and just take some of the tips and take it with a grain of salt and take each day as it comes. So and then you'll get through the bump and adjust really well into the UW culture. So yeah.
What else
Does
do we
anyone
have?
else
Does anyone?
questions?
And again, if you don't want to say your question out loud, you can always type that in the chat and we can answer it that way too. Last call, last call for questions. If no one has questions, we can always end the session. We do have another 30 minutes if anybody wants to discuss or has further questions, but we can always end the session early as well if there aren't any more questions right now.
I see that Daing and Dr. Ahern have both put in their email addresses into the chat. And so I'm gonna do the same, and I'm gonna ask that Maria and Abby do as well. So if you do have any questions that you that come up after this, you can feel free to email any one of us.
I'm also gonna put in the main ISS office email. That is maybe one of the best ways to reach us because everyone in my office has access to look at this email. And so if you send to that one, somebody will quickly be able to pick that out and answer, even if an individual staff member isn't available. The only thing that I would ask is that you don't send individual emails to Jill and me and Abby and the office, because then all of us are working on the same question. But feel free to copy more than one person if you want to send it to more than one, or just send it to that UW Global at UWIO and we'll pick that up and get an answer back to you pretty quickly. All right, if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to leave this open for just another minute in case you're all writing down those email addresses. But does anybody have any final thoughts to share before we log off here?
I would just say that we are so excited that you guys are part of the University of Wyoming family. And we really do think of you guys as family members at this point. So we can't wait to welcome you to campus or welcome you virtually this fall or whatever or whenever that happens. We're excited that you are a part of our family and we're really looking forward to getting to know you. So.
I guess to build off of what Jill said, our office really likes to be your home away from home once you're here, so you can always reach out to us with any questions. We kind of we help a lot of students troubleshoot a lot of different issues, so we are always happy to hear from you.
Yeah, it's our privilege that you're coming to UW. It really is, and ISS and the Office of Graduate Education. Again, if you need anything, you got questions, problems come up, etc., we're here to help you.
We've been waiting for you guys we've been excited for you guys since after the spring semester. So we've been working every day to make sure that to help you guys and make sure that you guys have a smooth transition to the US as much as we can help, despite all the challenges that's going on. So we want to keep that momentum up and make sure that you're still excited to come to UW. And like Jim said, we're so honored to have you be part of the UW family. So welcome again, guys.
Yeah, and for those of you that won't get to join us on campus this fall, it'll just build our excitement even more for meeting you in the spring. We'll stay connected with you over the fall if you're not able to join us on campus. Hopefully we can maybe do some more chats or things like that just to keep engaged and connected with you. And then for those of you arriving on campus, as we had said earlier, it won't be the same with check-in. We won't be able to personally welcome you as much as we normally do, but hopefully as we move through the coronavirus, and hopefully things will get better quickly and we'll be able to go back to some more of our activities and actually getting to meet you in person and spending time with you and getting to know you. Like Jill said, you're part of our family. So
In my mind, we're going to have a big celebration when all of this is done.
That's true. I'm hugging everybody. I'm just warning everyone right now.
Yay.
Hugging everyone. So yeah, we'll be having a big celebration when we can all get together and get to know each other in person. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just leave this open for a couple minutes. If you need to log off, go ahead and do that. But there's those emails. Abby has posted our social media page, our Facebook, in the chat, as I mentioned, our Twitter and our Instagram. I think Daing put those up. Abby's putting those addresses in the chat right now. So yeah, connect with us on social media, connect with us on email, give us a call. Hopefully we'll meet you in person as soon as we can, and let us know any challenges you're facing or anything that happens between now and your arrival that we can help you with. So I'm glad you all could join us this morning. And we really, really look forward to welcoming you all to campus. So, all right. Well, we'll sign off for now then, guys. See you.
Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.